Hey, welcome back to the Moxie Movement podcast. I am stoked that you are here. I hope you are having an amazing day. I am Sarah Greener. I'm your host, the creator of the Moxie Business Advantage and the Power Hour Time Back system, along with a raft of other frameworks that I share with mums in business so that instead of having to guesswork their business, they can framework their business, which makes things much easier. I'm all about the easy life. As mums in business, we already do way too much. I'm all about making it easy for you. I'm excited to have you here. We are off on a wee adventure tomorrow. We're on an island called Koh Lanta Yai in the southwest of Thailand. It's in the Andaman Sea. It's a beautiful part of the world. We've got a family that we've got to know that have been here with us since November last year. They're off to Costa Rica. Johnny's super keen on Costa Rica as at least a 6-month stop for us. We'll be staying in contact with them. But tomorrow we're going on a little scooter trip. The island right next to us, we can get there by bridge. We're just going to go across the bridge tomorrow and have a little explore on Koh Lanta Noi. It's a beautiful, quiet island. Way more mangroves. We're going to have an explore, hang on the beach, have a swim. The roads are super quiet, and honestly, some of the best quality roads you've ever driven on. There are a couple of the places where my clients come out at the end of June for our client retreat. We're going to make sure we treat them to these experiences as well. I've normally only do 2-day retreat in the middle of the year. I've extended it to 3 just purely because for the people that are coming in person, there's all this cool stuff that I want to do with them. I'm really looking forward to that. Feels like it's coming out really quick. I've got myself into some really good books. Just about every chance I get to have a little break and read a chapter, and I really have to stick to like just one chapter, Sarah, and then back to what you're supposed to be doing. I'm really enjoying Sarah J. Maas, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. All of her series, really enjoyed them. I've read them really quickly. I don't feel like I've read a series like this since Game of Thrones. If you've got any other book series like that kind of genre, never thought I'd be a fantasy reader. I'm thoroughly enjoying. As a friend is writing a book. It's a self-help personal development book. I cannot wait for him to finish it and publish it. I can share it with you all. Reading it and giving feedback to him chapter by chapter at the moment, along with a group of his clients and other friends. It's around betrayal and trust. I need to get him to come and talk to us on the podcast about it at some point. As I've been reading through it, everyone needs to read this, especially when you're in business, because trust and betrayal, they go closely together. And most women, mums in business, if you've been in business for even a little while, you've had some form of trust betrayal in your business relationships, whether it be with a customer or a supplier or a business partner. I think I'm about a third of the way through the book, and already there's been many aha moments and realizations, frame and reprocess those experiences that I've had in business. One of the things I see a lot in business is people working with specialist after specialist after specialist and not getting great results. I can see why people do it, because we're told in our businesses to niche to your niche. You got to get smaller and more focused on a particular area or a particular problem that you're solving. I think there's a real danger in that when it comes to taking business advice. It's like just taking advice from an accountant, or just taking advice from a lawyer, or just taking advice from someone who specializes in sales on calls or sales on your website. If you break your business down into these small pieces, there's a real risk in it. It's why you want to make sure that you've got some form of overarching strategy in your business so that you can filter through the information. You want to have frameworks that hold the whole thing together. When you're taking advice from specialists that aren't looking at the whole picture, they tend to make assumptions about the rest of your business. There'll be some specialists out there that do a really good job of going, I talked to you about this, and here's everything you need to think about in the rest of your business. There'll definitely be great specialists like that. I also think there's a lot of specialists that go, oh, that's not my area of expertise. Just don't even address it. And that's the one where you as the business owner have to be really good at going, I know what the bigger picture is. I know what the upstream and downstream impacts of these changes and these recommendations that this person is making to me is going to be. You know, even when you're getting advice from your accountant, it's your job to filter it through your life and your business to make the best decision for you and what you need. Stop taking advice from specialists who do not see or bother to understand the whole picture. If the only solution you're hearing is more marketing, more ads, or more funnels, you are talking to a one-trick pony. And it probably means that they haven't got really any idea about what's going on in the rest of your business. It's like when people only have the ability to cut costs to make your bottom line look better. Both of those strategies, both of those one tricks is not useful to your business. It's really, really important that as the business owner, you understand the whole picture. Because when you're getting any over specialized advice, niched down to just one small area of your business, I think this problem gets amplified when the specialist is in a particular area, in a particular industry. Unless that specialist, advisor, coach, mentor, that guru is constantly going out of their industry, out of their specialization, and getting a bigger picture view of business and the area even that they specialize in across different industries, across different size businesses, they're not going to give you great advice. They're going to miss the bigger picture, and the bigger picture matters in business. How it all fits together, what you're trying to build is really, really different from what everybody else is trying to build. You need to know and be clear on what you're building, how you're building it, why you're building it, where are you ultimately trying to take this business. You can filter advice through that. What will work for someone who's trying to build a multi-million-dollar business that they can exit from is really, really different from someone who's like, I want to build a business that supports our family, that allows me the freedom and flexibility to only work school terms. Those are two really different businesses. If your advisor doesn't understand how your life looks and your business fits into that life, they could give you advice that gives you start running a business that you really don't want to run. And then the second piece is, if they start messing with one particular bit of your business, but they haven't looked at the downstream effects, you could waste a whole lot of money, time, and energy on one part of your business when the problem's somewhere completely different. I've seen people waste time, effort, and money trying to fire an employee because they're a shit employee. Is that really the problem? Is this person the problem? Now, they might be, or they might not be. There might be a lack of systems. There might be a lack of accountability. There might be conflicting advice. Maybe this person is reporting to 2 or 3 people in your business instead of just one. Maybe this person needs more help and training and support. There's so many different ways to solve that people problem, not just helping them move on with love and grace. And if someone's a specialist in getting rid of shitty employees, they may or may not look at the whole picture of your business before they go through that process. It might solve the problem right now, but truthfully, the problem's further up the pipeline. It's like taking a hose and being, if I just buy a new fitting and stick a new fitting on the end of this garden hose, then the garden will get better watered. Meanwhile, if you look up the hose to where it's plugged into the wall, there's like 30 kinks in the hose and no one's looking at those. Putting a fancy new fitting on the end to squirt water on your garden is not going to make it any better. You've got to go back and figure out where's the first problem on the journey, and when we fix that, when we take that kink out, what's it going to do upstream and downstream in your business that will maybe cause problems or cause an abundance of sales or clients or time or something that's going to then be like, oh, I've just moved the capacity issue from where it was to where it's going to be next. I often have women come into my world and they're like, oh, so-and-so told me to do this and so-and-so told me to do that and this, my accountant said do that, my lawyer said do that, and my marketing person said do that, my ads person said, and I'm like, whoa. Did they forget you're like a whole human? And not only you're a whole human, you're like mumming 3 children at home and one of them's been really sick. Did they forget that your husband's not working at the moment because he broke his leg? You are everything to everyone. You know, you might not have capacity to do all of those things right now. I think sometimes people get hung up in getting you the result in the one area that they're specialized in. They forget that we have entire lives outside our business. And when you're a mum and a woman and you are trying to keep multiple humans alive and multiple humans going to the right sports activities, music, arts, and all the things. God, our kids do so much stuff. My girl has a better social life than me with all her activities. Just today, I think she's doing art and singing and swimming. Gosh, she's got so many things on. Just keeping her schedule straight. She's old enough now to do it herself, but when she was younger, keeping her schedule straight was enough. And I've only got one child. Imagine, that an advisor doesn't see the fact that you have 2 or 3 or 4 children, plus you're doing all the things that they're asking you to do. This is a really quick way to end up in overwhelm, busy work, not moving, wondering why you're not getting the results in your business, is to be talking with specialists that are super specialized by area and industry, who do not ask good questions about the big picture, or where you don't have a clear picture of the big picture. If you don't know what the big picture of your business is, that you can ask good questions and go, let me see how it will fit into my big picture for my business. And as the leader in your business, as the owner of your business, if you have that big strategic picture, this is going to be better. Really, really important. Either you must know and be really clear on your strategic plan, on where this business is going, why it's going there, how you're going to behave on the way there, and using that as the filters. You must also be really clear on what are the critical success factors and where is the kinks in my pipe in my business. You've got to know that as the business owner. And if you don't, you need to make sure that you've got an overarching set of advisors that look at that, whether that be an advisory board where you've got an accountant, a lawyer, and someone who's really good at the marketing and sales, and someone who's really good at systems and processes, and collectively they understand the overarching business. Or you need a really great generalist who can look at the whole picture with you, that you have a strategic plan, that you have a framework through which to filter all the specialist advice. It's like having a GP that you go to on a regular basis. You're like, here's the baseline. And then if something goes really wrong or something needs tweaking or making better, you go off to the specialist. You go to the gynecologist. You go off to the osteopath or the physio. Like, you go off to the specialist to get other things that you might need. Really important that you've got someone who's looking at the whole picture of your life and business. And if that's not you, if you are not holding on to that strongly as the leader in your business, make sure you get someone who can do it for you. Make sure you know that you're fixing the problem, not a symptom of the problem. This is one of the things I see a lot. People are like, my problem is more leads. Not enough leads is a symptom of many, many things, but it's very rarely the problem. Is the problem that you don't have enough sales coming through right now? Is the problem that there's not enough cash in the bank account? Like, what's the actual problem? And then we can move backwards from there and ask better questions and figure out where the actual problem is. Because sometimes people are like, oh, if I just put more sales in, if I just bring more leads in, it will fix the cash in the bank. Meanwhile, anything could be happening. You've got a stolen credit card out there that people are taking money out of your bank account. You could be spending way too much money on operating expenses. You could have wage costs that are way too high, or you could have your pricing all wrong. Going and blindly fixing more leads because you think that's the problem before you've identified the real problem. Stop solving for the problem that isn't. And understanding what's a symptom and what's an underlying issue will be the difference between having to do lots and lots and lots of work and closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be in a fast, efficient, effective way. The things that I want to do with my clients when they come on board, the things that I do with lots of business owners is really simple 3-step. The first one is, where's the actual bottleneck? Like, what's the actual problem and what's stopping us from fixing that? Fix that first. Where's the real problem in your business? Do you know, or are you just guessing? Have you looked at the whole picture? Have you looked at it without your blinders on? Have you had someone else who doesn't have your bias towards your business and your emotional attachment at your business? You've got to identify the real issue. What's the bottleneck? Do a bottleneck audit. Test before you invest. Small investments before you throw in all the money. Test people out. The cool thing about 2025 is that you can do little tests. You can spend a little bit of money with most of the experts out there, with most of the advisors out there. Even if you're looking to move accountants, they will have a small meeting with you and have a conversation with you up front, or maybe you can buy just an hour of their time before you shift to the accountant. Same with a lawyer. Same with a marketing expert, a sales expert, a product delivery expert, a numbers person. You can buy something small from them and check that they know their shit and that they'll look at the whole picture before you go all in with them. Small experiments before big commitments. Question everything. Your success in business is not about do you have all the answers. It's about do you know how to ask great questions. Question all advice. Does this align with my goals and my reality? Is this something that works for my highest life priorities, the critical success factors I have in my business and my strategic plan? Because if it aligns with those things, then you're in the right place. If it doesn't, you don't want to be taking that advice. If you keep following bad advice, you won't just be stuck. You'll be actively making it worse. And none of us want to be at the bottom of a hole with a spade, digging it deeper. Use the spade to make the stairs to get out, not to dig the hole deeper. We do not need, in any way, shape or form, as a mum in business, to make the problem worse before we make the problem better. We have enough going on. The juggle is enough. Please, please, don't take bad advice. Don't take isolated advice. Make sure you know enough about your business to see the whole picture and take good advice for the collective picture, not super specialized without any context, because context in business matters every time. Until next time, stay moxie.